Hi, I'm Sarah McCrum, and I'd like to talk with you about a way that you can contribute to transforming our relationship with nature. A few days ago, I was sent a newspaper article talking about how the European Union is struggling to get its nature repair law through Parliament because several countries are objecting to it. And it made me realise that we simply cannot afford to wait for our leaders, our governments, our regulators, our corporations, all the large institutions to make the right decisions for this to happen. As human beings, we are a part of nature, although it doesn't always look as though we remember that. Wherever you live, whatever you do in your life, every single thing that we have ever created has been made from natural materials. We live in natural ecosystems. We are an intrinsic part of the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. I believe that the greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity that is facing us now, both as individuals and as a species, is to come into right relationship with nature. It's time for us to make the decision to protect and regenerate all the landscapes in the world that have been damaged or degraded by human activity. This is to ensure not only for us, but for all of nature as well, that we have access to clean air, clean water, healthy soil, good quality food, biodiversity, and all the ingredients of life that are essential for us to be able to thrive on this planet. I am a co-founder of Love to Be Bright Green. We connect farmers and land managers who are creating ecological improvement with investors who are looking for ecological assets. Along with my co-founder Tim Bennett and our team, we've spent the last 7 years developing a way to bring large-scale capital to regenerative farming. We started here in Australia with some of the best regenerative farmers in the world.
Before, we were just at war with nature. We were battling everything that wanted to grow here. We were spraying with insecticides and herbicides, and we were fighting a losing battle. Now, what we're enjoying is not killing things anymore. We're not spraying herbicide, we're not spraying insecticide, and we're actually encouraging the things that we used to kill. We're encouraging them to grow here.
Seeing the number of species, we had someone come and help and assess the number of species, grass species we had, and it was quite phenomenal. The variety, the species we'd never seen before.
And we're trying to build ecological function, and within that will give us resilience. It also contributes to the planet, in our view, that we contribute to those big picture issues like climate change, sustainability, clean food, and the health of humans at the end of the day in terms of our food production.
For our family and our community, we found that the regenerative land management has been really creating a source of hope, that we can change how things have been done, that we can produce food in different ways and focus on our health in different ways. It's brought a community on farm of people that are passionate to live and work within the landscape, but also have the opportunity to eat the foods produced there and share in that.
The fact of the matter is, we got our feet on the ground. Our decisions we make every day have an impact on the environmental health of the landscape that we manage. So that's a very powerful thing to have, and to be able to use it in a way that promotes a healthy ecosystem is pretty special.
Now that you've met a few of our farmers, I'd like to show you a short video that shows you how this works. Our relationship with nature is out of balance. In today's economy, a dead tree is more valuable than a living tree. Extracted minerals are more valuable than living ecosystems. It's time for a new paradigm where the economy values living systems and our money is directed into a living future. That future is already here. All over the world, family-scale farmers are protecting and regenerating nature. They do it because they love to. We call them producers. They produce living value. They give us clean air, living soils, pure water, and healthy humans. At the same time, we see people and organisations ready to support real change. They want to fund ecological improvement, ensuring a bright green future for all of us. However, producers have had no way to sell their ecological value to us, and we've had no way to reward them for what they do for our environment. But Love to be Bright Green has a solution. We package ecological improvement as a commodity and turn it into digital tokens. And we sell the tokens in the biggest farmers' markets in the world, the financial markets. We do it in 3 stages. First, we measure the ecological improvement that producers have made. Then we turn that living value into digital tokens. Finally, we sell those tokens to people and companies who want to support a greener future. We call our tokens Bright Greens. Bright Greens are unlike any other token out there. That's because every single bright green is traceable back to certified ecological improvement. Through Bright Greens, we can all be part of the solution, bringing together good money with people doing good. We've been talking about environmental improvement for decades now, so you might be wondering why it's so difficult to get change. And there are many reasons for that and many layers to it. But what we've found really important is to focus on what can we do that could make a really significant difference. And what we found was that there's such a mismatch between the investors and the financial markets and the farmers and producers on the ground. They're often working in high-risk situations where there can be droughts and floods and various different kinds of disasters, which are very challenging for investors. Investors are often looking for very large projects, and farmers tend to be typically small projects. So there are a whole lot of reasons why they've just not really been able to speak with each other because they weren't speaking the same language. And so one of the most important things to do is to create this connection between the needs of investors and the needs of regenerative farmers. If you do that, we unite everybody in the same direction, which is the most important thing we can do if we want to get significant change. When we analysed the situation, we realised that there were 3 fundamental innovations that needed to take place. And the first is in the way that we value nature. We don't believe that it is right to put a price on pieces, on elements of nature. For example, to say a tree is worth this much and a whale is worth that much and a wombat is worth something different, because this tree here is totally dependent on the entire ecosystem around it in order to survive. And you cannot possibly put a value on every worm and every microbe and every butterfly and every other part of this incredible living ecosystem. So it doesn't make any sense to put a value on the tree alone. We must look at how we take care of the entire ecosystem. And so we shifted things around and said, well, it's human beings who've done the damage, and it's human beings who can make different decisions and transform our landscapes as well. And so let's put a value on the decisions and the work that human beings do that changes the way that we manage land. When we do that, we can change the entire dynamic of how finance can move towards land management and regenerative practices, because we can actually invest in something that we understand, which is human beings doing really good quality work that gets the kind of outcomes we're looking for, which is the outcomes that produce healthy nature and a healthy environment for us to live in. The second innovation was, how do we turn this value of the work that people are doing on the land into something that can speak the language of the financial markets? And we were incredibly lucky because we ended up doing this at exactly the time when tokenization is taking off across the world and is clearly set to become a stronger and stronger part of our economy. And so what we did was essentially package ecological improvement into units that can then be packaged into a token. And that token represents real work that has been done on the ground by a real farmer. It's not a promise for something that might be done in the future or might fail. The trees are living and breathing every single day. The grass is growing. The biodiversity is increasing. It's actually making the difference on the ground that we're looking for. And by turning that into a token, it turns it into something that another person can put money into and own a piece of without having to take that environment home or put it somewhere so that you can say you own it. What you own when you buy a token is the improvement in that living ecosystem. And that is a very, very different way of looking at value. And it's a very powerful way that we're able to do things these days that we couldn't have even done 10 years ago. The third innovation is to make this attractive to investors who are looking for an ecological return and a financial return. And so we created a regenerative business model. This is a model built on the same principles as regenerative farming, and that is the principle that everything that is valuable grows. The way we do this is to link the value of the tokens with the value of the shares in Love to Be Bright Green, which is one of the companies that sells tokens. When the shares go up and the dividends go up, the value of the tokens goes up. And this enables us to manage the stability of the pricing of the token, and it aligns everybody to create success, because success for anybody is success for everybody in this ecosystem. When the farmers win, the investors win. When the investors win, all the companies that have contributed to this system win, and the farmers win. So this is a genuinely regenerative business system that connects the farmers with the investors in a way that works for everybody. So I'd like to invite you to participate in increasing the regeneration and protection of nature worldwide by buying some bright greens. When you buy bright greens, you're buying a piece of ecological improvement that is a living ecosystem. At the same time, by holding the token, you hold the financial value in that ecological improvement. And every one of us who owns bright greens is making a contribution to the commons, the value that is shared by every human being and every other part of nature on this planet. If you're interested in buying bright greens, then there are 3 steps you need to take. Step 1 is to go to our website, which is brightgreens.io. There you can find out more about them, and you can also download the white paper. Step 2 is to buy your bright greens. And step 3, if you need to, is to get yourself a wallet, a crypto wallet, so that you can receive your bright greens. If you already have a wallet, then you just need to do steps 1 and 2. But if you don't have a wallet and it's unfamiliar territory for you, we have full instructions on how to do this. And our customer service team is always ready to help you if you're having any problems with it. And so if this is a new thing for you, buying bright greens is a very good place to start, because you are buying an asset that is backed by genuine, high quality, verified and certified ecological improvement. So we are the solution, you and I and the people we connect with and the people they connect with. It's time for us to make wise decisions, decisions that are good for nature, good for human beings, good for future generations, and good for the economy. If you'd like to buy Bright Greens, the instructions and links are below. Let's make a bright green world together.